Welcome back. You are listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on KCBQ 1170, The Answer. My name is Kyle Whissel. I'm your host, joined as always by Mr. Jason Hall, branch manager with Team Home Loans and Synergy One Lending, and our two special guests today, Ms. Gail Weed and Mr. Vince Kingsley with Torrey Pines Bank. And before the break, guys, we were talking about what's going on with the Charger Stadium, a lot of talk about redevelopment, and there's a couple really fun projects that are coming in to San Diego, both on the residential side of living as well as some of the retail spaces. So have you guys been to any of these Cinépolis movie theaters?
I have not.
I have
Gail?
not.
Jason?
I've been to the one here in UTC, Cinépolis.
There's no Cinépolis in UTC.
Okay, what is that one?
ArcLight?
That's the ArcLight, yeah.
All right, so what is that considered?
ArcLight
Because they serve alcohol. I mean, they're
ArcLight
serving
is
alcohol.
in between of
okay,
the
but they don't serve
traditional
food.
movie theater and a Cinépolis.
So
Cinépolis takes it to a whole nother
So
level.
tell us what Cinépolis does.
So Cinépolis is revolutionizing what the movie-going experience has become. A lot of movie theaters have been struggling a lot lately because it's so easy to get movies
Netflix
online now
and
between Netflix
Watch
and
on your phone.
Hulu and I mean even DirecTV. I can pay $15 to get a movie that's in the movie theater and watch it at home. I don't even have to leave my couch. So why do I want to go to the movie theater and spend $15 a ticket and $10 for freaking popcorn and a soda and all that crazy stuff? So Cinépolis kind of came in with an idea. Let's actually get rid of a lot of the seats in the movie theater. And they've got these really nice plush recliners, motorized recliners. The hard part is staying awake during the movie because it's so relaxing.
And
But
all the theaters are going to those, by the way.
a lot of them are, yeah.
Right.
A lot of them are going to that direction. And so when you go into a Cinépolis, when you first come in, you could actually go and have dinner there. They have really nice food, not just crap food like hot dogs and
Nachos,
nachos.
and a
They've
frozen
got, like,
pizza we heat up for you.
You could get like a ahi tuna. You
Wow.
could get some really good quality food.
Now, you're able to eat at the theater?
And so they have a full bar and a restaurant when you come in. And it's almost like a sports bar, too. They got big TVs so you could hang out and watch a game there. But then the cool part, when you go into your actual movie theater and you sit down, you have a little light that you can buzz a server to come. And they will bring you food. They will bring you drinks right to
now,
your
does
seat.
that interrupt other people watching the movie?
No, they've got it down to a science. So they have these real discreet lights that only shine light down on your little tray so it doesn't bother anybody else.
Wow.
The servers are very tactful about how they go about things. And depending on, they only have a select number of screenings that are 21 plus where they allow alcohol.
Which ones have you been to?
So there's one in La Costa, one in Del Mar, and they just opened one in Vista. And there's a new one coming in Horton Plaza. So I know we were talking a lot about downtown, but there's a Cinépolis coming in where the existing movie theater is. They're doing a lot of redevelopment down there at Horton Plaza. So they are going to convert the movie theater that's there now over to a Cinépolis theater. And that's how most of these Cinépolises have come in. They've been taking over other movie theaters that are struggling because people don't want to just go see a movie. It's really redefined the way that people watch movies. So if you've never been to a Cinépolis before, check it out. Again,
now, is it going to cost me $30 just to get in?
It's not that bad. It's really not bad. It's depending on when you see it, between $15 and $25.
All right, so it's not much more than the normal theater.
Yeah, maybe $5 or $10 more.
See, Vince and I remember paying like $1. Like when we were in high school, we could go on Tuesday night for $1 right there in Grossmont, some of the other areas.
Well, I grew up in Claremont, and they had the Claremont Theater.
The double theater.
Oh, yes.
Buck
Oh, yeah.
25.
$1.25.
Right, but Jason, the big thing that's changed is movies are in color now.
Yeah,
So
I know.
Things have changed a little bit. I know prices have gone up, but color costs money.
Hey, my dad says it used to be a quarter, and you get on Saturday, and you'd be able to see two movies. It was a nickel for popcorn and a dime for Coke. And I'm like, boy, I want those days back, right?
Definitely.
But then I guess we only sell the houses for like $10,000, and I guess based on commission, I'd only make like $100. I could only afford probably a dime and a nickel.
So
But
speaking
Jason,
of that,
do you remember the Two View drive-in theater right there in Kearney
yes.
Mesa?
Oh yeah, way back.
Pile like 20 people in a car, and yeah.
There's still a few left.
Yeah.
two.
There,
There's one in Pacific Beach.
Is there one in Pacific Beach or South Bay?
South Bay.
Where in
South
Pacific?
Bay.
Yeah, you're thinking
Imperial
South.
Beach.
Oh.
Yeah, it's somewhere down in South Bay.
Okay.
There's only two
PB,
left.
they
There's
ran
one
theirs
in,
out.
Yeah, there's one in South Bay.
About 25 years ago. There.
Santee and South Bay, Imperial Beach area,
Yeah.
the only two that are left. But they're functioning. It's fun. It's a different experience. Like for my wife and I, the only way we'll go to a movie now is either the drive-in or a Cinépolis. It's the only way we'll go.
Wow.
Because it's just not the same. Once you've been to a Cinépolis, there's no way you're going to.
I love the
regular theater
reclining
again.
seats. So I know AMC La Jolla was like the first
But
one
no,
that I had noticed
this
that went in the
is not-
reclining seats,
This
which
is
are
not
nice.
what you're
I know,
thinking. Like
I know.
this turns into like basically a bed.
That's how the AMC La Jolla is.
It's amazing.
You'd be shocked.
And it's like a love seat for you and your
Yes.
significant other.
Same.
You can pull the armrest up, cuddle up during the movie.
All right, hey, don't tell us too much what's going on there during the movie, Kyle.
You are just
you watch the movie?
relaxing and enjoying the company of your significant other. Gosh, you have a dirty mind, Jason.
Oh man, you're talking about love seat, throwing this up. We were talking about high school. So my mind starts wandering.
I love it. So other redevelopment, just kind of speaking of how things are trending more in that higher end kind of direction. There's a new development that's going in the Bankers Hill area. And they're actually pushing the envelope. I know a few weeks ago we talked about a development going in downtown where they're looking to get $1,000 a square foot for space downtown right on the water. There's a development coming into Bankers Hill called The Park, and they're talking about a development in Bankers Hill, just on the south side of Hillcrest by Balboa Park. They're talking about throwing some condos in there at $1,000 a square foot.
Wow.
So for perspective, $1,000 a square foot means if you want 1,000 square foot, 2-bedroom,
$1 million.
1 bath, you're talking about $1 million.
$1 million. Now, how's that plane? Those planes come pretty close to that area you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the scary thing, right? But
Very
I mean,
close.
but there are some incredible views. When you do get up high enough on those areas, you get unbelievable views. And I know your wife and you love your view from Sky Ranch there in Santee. My wife and I love our view from Mount Helix. That's the reason we bought the lots we both bought at. But views are pretty exciting. So 1,000 square feet. Wow.
1,000 square foot. So $1 million for a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, 1,000 square foot condo. But the cool thing, Bankers Hill, if you've never been there, it's a very, very fun area. There's a lot of fun little restaurants, shops, very, very safe. It's like downtown, but without all the homeless.
Now, Vince, why is it called Bankers Hill? You're a banker, so can you give us any update on that?
I don't know. I've been in San Diego again my whole life, and some of the
And you've been a
terms
banker
that
for
are
like 30 plus years.
35, and some of the terms that we use for the local communities, I still don't know where they came from.
Everything's become much more hyper local. So now it's not just Santee anymore. Now there's certain parts. I know that you're from Santee yourself, and
Lakeside, actually.
Lakeside, yeah. I mean,
I
they've
actually
really
call
broken
it Lower
it down.
Blossom Valley.
The Blossom Valley foothills.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm in the west side of Blossom Valley, which is now known as Lakeside, or used to be known as Lakeside. I love it.
Yeah, you definitely hear people talk about some creative names. I know that there's somebody in my neighborhood. We live in Santee, and the guy tries to call it La Jolla East. I'm like, what?
It is
What
kind
are
of
you
like La Jolla
talking
East,
about?
Or
though.
UTC, they'll try to say it's La Jolla.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, even where we're at in the studio, so for you listeners out there, our studio is right across the street from UTC, and there's a few little buildings here that have been able to carve out that 92037 zip code just so that they can claim that for their
Yes.
marketing materials,
Yes.
because saying you're truly in La Jolla can make a huge difference.
It's like if you're on the other side of Genesee, you're 92037. If you're on this side of Genesee, you're like 92122, and you don't get to call it
La
La
Jolla.
Jolla. I know one of my good attorney friends, he made sure he had to be in the building that was 92037 because his whole branding and marketing was, I'm a La Jolla attorney.
Makes a big deal. So let's turn the attention again. You're listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on KCBQ 1170. My name is Kyle Whissel, and I want to kind of turn the attention to our guest today, Vince and Gail with Torrey Pines Bank. Kind of Torrey Pines, La Jolla, kind of tie in a little bit there. So let's talk a little bit about what is Torrey Pines Bank.
Well, Torrey Pines Bank was founded in 2003, and we have 7 offices in San Diego. And Vince and I both work out of the Kearny Mesa office. And it's a great...
And the Kearny Mesa office is located where, Gil?
It's at 9280 Claremont Mesa Boulevard. And it's a great location because we
So
can...
what's like a good cross street? So our listeners kind of know. So Claremont
Ruffin?
Mesa and Ruffin.
We're
Gotcha.
kind of in between 163 and 15.
Okay, so you're close to where some of our listeners, and I know I've been to, the court, right? So if you ever got like a speeding ticket,
The traffic court.
We're
We're just east on the
okay,
same side.
gotcha. All right, go ahead, Gail. Sorry to
That's
interrupt.
okay. And so we have 7 offices that we're located here in San Diego, and we're a full service commercial bank, and we really like to go out and help business owners with tailoring their needs that they need for banking, lines of credit, and all avenues of different types of loans. So that's our specialty in San Diego. We really reach out, get to know our clients, and get to know what they need to do and be that bank for
And
them.
it started here in San Diego?
It did.
So the very first branch was where?
The very first branch was downtown San Diego.
And how'd they come up with Torrey Pines? What's the story behind that? You guys know?
Well, Torrey Pines Bank is a name that's been in the banking industry way back when in the early 60s and 70s.
Right.
And then it was bought out and it disappeared. And
that's why I was surprised with the 2003 Vince. That's why okay,
right.
Go ahead.
And a group of investors saw that the name was available, so they picked it because it is so well known in San Diego.
Okay. All right.
Very cool. So what makes you guys refer to yourself as a commercial bank? What makes that different from the traditional bank that everybody goes into? Like your normal corner bank. We don't need to drop names at all.
But some of the big banks, like a W name or a B name or a C name or, U name.
The difference is really you've got local as far as Vince and I are both we're natives here in San Diego. And so having the experience in San Diego, we know what the market is doing. And it's nice and refreshing when you have somebody who's experienced can go in and actually help your business as opposed to just say, here's a form, fill it out, and I'll get back to you.
And I'm gonna scan it into a center, and some center somewhere in the United States, hopefully in the United States, might not even be in the United States, because I know B of A is not, their mortgage center is in India, guys.
No way.
It's crazy. I know. Can you believe this? So how can you be B of A and be in somewhere else outside of America? It's crazy. But that's what's nice about you guys. So you guys actually local knowledge, local stuff. And Vince, you guys know your clients. So like when your clients come in, you're like, hey, Jason, Kyle, how's it going? I mean, you know them by name.
Yeah. One of the true benefits of how we're structured is that our primary business model is businesses. So without having all of that retail business that most of the big banks have, we're able to stay more focused on our clients and be able to be available to them all the time. They can call us up. We work as teams so that if one of us isn't available, somebody else is, and we can be very responsive. We're not tied down by the 500 people that are coming to cash their checks on a Friday afternoon. We don't have those types of issues. So we're able to stay much more focused and give our customers.
So if you're a listener listening right now that is a business owner and looking for a true business relationship with a personal/business banker that'll know you, help you make decisions. I know some of the big things for me has been when I make a large deposit. A lot of the little banks or even the big banks just automatically want to put a hold because they no longer know who Jason Hall is. And they just go, oh, well, we're going to put a 5-day hold. It drives me crazy as a past banker that someone wants to put a hold on my account when I've been an account holder for 25 years.
Well,
right?
That's the difference where we have that relationship. We know our clients and we can give them that type of service and customer service, know them by name, know what's kind of usual activity, and work with them. Whereas when you have my business card, you have my direct number. And it doesn't go to a call center, it comes to me. And I really feel that customer service is very well lacking in a lot of organizations, but that's what Torrey Pines Bank, we pride ourselves on being responsive to that customer. So
customer service, responsive, and then local lending authority, right? You guys can literally make your own decisions in-house, in the branch, to a certain level, I'm assuming. And then if it's even bigger, then it goes probably a committee downtown or within the corporate, stuff like that?
Not necessarily downtown, but Carmel Valley,
okay.
Yes. So our loan committee is comprised of, again, San Diego. Most of them are San Diego natives, again. They've been in the banking industry for 35, 40 years themselves and very knowledgeable and know what's going on in San Diego.
Okay, well that's awesome, and so for those listeners out there,
who in the world would want good customer service? Quick decision. I mean, why would somebody want that? Gosh,
I know. I mean, we want service, right? We all know, and I know you're being funny about that, Kyle, but that's what we want, and that's what's neat about having a local bank and having Gail and Vince in here today to share with our listeners that there is still banks out there who want your business. They're looking for good quality businesses. It could be probably a small startup business to a big business that's going on here in San Diego.
Absolutely.
But if you feel the need, you can reach out to them on a few things. We're going to give you our normal text line. This goes directly to Kyle, and that's 619-663-7355. If you want to know any more information about anything on the show, especially Gail and Vince, and coming up later after the break, we'll get a chance to talk about your personal information emails that you guys might want to put out as well. But it's great to have a personal banker that knows you that makes local decisions on not only large deposits, on personal lines of credit, business lines of credit. That's huge. I know we're going to cover a little bit more of that when we come back. But we're going to break.
So we're headed to a break here. When we get back, I want to hear some stories from you guys about some of the unique things you've done for your clients that other retail banks might not be able to do. You are listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on KCBQ 1170.